Welcome back to Career Build Series. This is episode number 110, and I join you from the deck of Triton. So, last episode, went ahead and flew the ultralight from the military base down to FJ, and then scooped up Triton. So, we now have Triton in game. So, I had to grind up about 600,000 until I felt comfortable to be able to load Triton in. Worked on Triton a little bit in a live stream, so you can go ahead and check that out. And so we'd bought this island a few episodes ago, and so we can actually store Triton in here. So let's go ahead and put this away inside the base. So we took about 108,000 liters of diesel from FJ, and we're going to store it in our private islands storage. And so then we'll be able to use this as a base of operations. So I want to get Triton in here to be able to do a bunch of improvements on it. So one of the best ways to know what your build needs is to get it into a career game. So engine should be up. Let's go ahead and actually fold the mast first. And we'll tilt the mast. So the mast has to be tilted down to go into this cave here. So on that live stream, one of the things I did was the mast will now spawn in the down position. It used to spawn down and then auto raise. It now will stay down, and we have to manually raise it. That way, it won't hit the ceiling when it spawns in this cave. So it kind of bobs up and hits the top of the cave. So we're currently gonna go into this cave here and despawn it. I don't know. Oh, that's the anchor. Okay, so the anchor's kind of skipping on the bottom there. Let's go ahead and raise that anchor. I was wondering what that light was. That's the anchor there going up. As you can see, we have a simulated anchor chain there being dragged up. And so we'll go ahead and despawn this. That will put a good bit of fuel inside of the island here, and that will help us in our endeavors to use this. So what we'll be doing is I'm going to kind of be doing some building on Triton. I'm going to have to use some of the cheats. I'm going to have to turn on things like infinite electricity to be able to operate this until I get all the systems kind of hooked up and set. So what I'll probably end up doing is doing a bunch of work on Triton in some live streams. So let's, I'm just slowing down here, and I need bow thruster here. So I want to make sure I don't hit this, so. We'll go stern thruster as well. We came over to the starboard side a little bit too much. Oh, something's up there. This backwards? This could be backwards here. Yeah, it appears like that's backwards, so I have to fix that too. But probably going to work on Triton a bunch in some live streams, so. We'll zero out the thrusters here. But as you can see, it's nice and cozy, goes right in the cave. Alright, so that should be good. We'll zero out the thrust here, and I'll go ahead and recall Triton, and then be able to go do some other stuff. And like I said, I'll probably use some live streams where I'll go ahead and work on Triton. Because Triton, you know, anytime you get in a ship that's very large or any really large build, it's going to take a long time to be able to get things done. So I think that's the proper environment for it, is work on it in a live stream. So it is nice to get Triton going inside here. And with this base and having fuel here, we'll be able to launch Triton whenever I feel like it. So that's convenient. But this is a cool base. I've never used this base before, so this is kind of fun to be able to operate inside of here. So we'll go ahead and we will recall it. All right, so Triton is back in the bench. So we'll go ahead and we will close that out. I'm going to check my bank is back up to 606,000. We should also be able to check here and notice that the diesel is over 100,000 liters. And so that's going to get us to the point here where we're all set. And so we have this fuel in here, and whenever I want to launch Triton, we have enough fuel that will make that possibility. The other benefit to having Triton here and our island located here is one of the reasons I want to buy this island. If you notice, we had a mission pop up. A crewed research sub radioed for help 130 meters underwater, so it's not worth anything. This is one of the issues I think the devs should look at, is some of these are very challenging, and they require a lot of infrastructure to be able to do. Like this one, you know, we have a sub 130 meters underwater, and it's only giving me 2,000. You know, that should, of course, be worth more money. That would be kind of cool to do. We're not going to do that right now. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we will sleep and we'll try to get a mission. So what I want to use is one of my new toys. If you've been watching the live streams, you've probably seen me work on this. So I got this up to snuff to be able to use now. So we have the Amphib land ship. And so this is an amphibious truck. I'll go ahead and spawn it and I can show you. This is all set to go. As you can see, it's an amphibious truck, and so this will allow us to do all sorts. So we can do land missions, we can do some sea missions. It's pretty comfortable in all environments. And one of the nice things this has on it is a bed. So this is kind of like a mini little home ship. You know, so we have... Let's go ahead and I'll turn some lights on in here. Let's see, I need to turn on this breaker, and then I can turn on the lights. So we have a bed in here. We also have a medical bed. A lot of cabinetry in here, so we have medical supplies under the medical bed, and we have a bunch of general supplies underneath the bed there. These are not filled yet, but we have 3 cabinets underneath the sink. Have some fake cabinets up top, so kind of nice in here. We're going to be able to do a bunch of missions. We have a couple seats in here. We have a jump seat there, a couple jump seats over here, so we have a bunch of seating. This door will auto-close. For example, as you can see, I tried to open it, water went in, and then I can manually hand pump it out. You can just probably see for a second there a little bit of me pumping it out. And so as you can see, it will auto-close if it gets water in here. So we use the top hatch when we're in the water, and then we can use that door when we're not in the water. But we can also pump out. We also have a heater here, so we can go up and you know, hang around the Arctic as well. So let's go ahead and start it up. And so what we want to do is, this is the backup battery back here. And so I use this backup battery when I have the engine shut down. This segregates the system. So this battery will no longer lose any charge. And then our main battery will be powering the craft. That way, it's unlikely that we'll ever run into a situation where we're completely out of battery. So that's kind of nice. I tried shifting up too quickly here. Oh, I have the parking brake on. That would be why. Parking brake is why it doesn't want to go. So the wheels and the propeller always move. That makes it easy for beaching. And then for now, I'm just using trim. I'll probably end up doing a memory register for holding the throttle. But as you can see, this will allow me to be able to move this vehicle and do whatever we need to do. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and I'll actually, generally, kind of my rule is 1/10. So I try to do about 10% of my missions, you know, at night. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to override time off. Actually, we'll do on, and we'll override time off. And we'll do weather as well. And so now we're ready to go. And what I want to do is go in the back, and I'm going to sleep in the bed. So we could sleep in either bed. We'll sleep in this one. And we'll just wait for some missions. So I want to do some missions in this Amphib. So extinguish all fires and rescue 1 casualty at Spike. He's perfect. We're going right there as it is. So that's awesome. Let's go ahead and we will jump up front and we'll look at the map. So we're going to Spy Cakes up here. Perfect. So we do not have any advanced navigation on here yet. I'll probably put the bearing system in here at some point. So that probably do that in the live stream again. And so if we look up here, that's about north. So we're probably looking at a 020 heading there. So we have our compass. As I move away, this is going east. If I turn here, this is going west. So that's 1 notch. There's 2 notches. So we're going to go about 2 notches there. And that should get us going towards Spy Cake. We have a little bit of fog because I just turned the weather on. And so should be headed in the right direction here. So I'm going to go ahead and I will time-lapse you guys out, and I'll see you when we get there. Alright, so here we are. We're coming up on Draymore. The fire is at Spy Cakes. So go ahead and I will get into first person here. So a little bit of a trip here. Not too bad. This does about just under 16 knots in the water. It's kind of cool. It automatically goes from miles an hour to knots when you're in the water. The water sensor will tell that. So I have my spots will follow my XY coordinates on the seat, so I can aim my spots with my seat look. Have our high beams on as well. Nav lights will automatically come on, as you can see, when we're in the water, so all my nav lights are on. So that's automatic. So we'll go ahead and maybe I'll turn on the hazards as well, so a little more visibility, as you can see, so that we don't get run over by a ship. So we're going to go up and we're going to beach ourselves by Draymore. Because it's nighttime, the easiest way to beach is over here by Draymore. And so I know this beaching location, so we're going to go there instead of me trying my luck by beaching somewhere I'm not 100% sure of, and then we'll drive over. So if you're interested in watching this vehicle be built, you can go ahead and watch some of the live streams. I worked on this quite a bit in the live streams. It took a little while to get it going. It wasn't too bad, but it's reasonably complex and detailed, so it took a little bit of work. So this is gonna be a fun craft. You know, it's kind of a do-it-all little home ship. You know, it's allows me to sleep in a bed, get a new mission, which is convenient. Plenty of seating for some rescues. Bunch of rescue equipment there. You know, I could use some more things. The ability to tow a trailer I need to add. You know, I could use a little bit of maybe a fire hose and a little bit of water in a tank so that we could do firefighting from this. But this will be a cool vehicle. It'll allow us to do some land and sea rescues, and we don't have to switch vehicles if we don't want to. You know, if I want to keep using this vehicle, I can cross the sea. So, you know, I kind of took a little detour at first. I thought we were going to Komodo, and it ended up being Spy Cakes. I looked and it was a different mission, and so started heading over there. So a little bit of a detour. I'd like to redo the gearing a little bit for the propeller. Presently, you know, kind of, you know, some of the stuff I've gone over in the gearing tutorial is, you know, when you're using a land vehicle, because the tire's touching the ground, it has a lot of resistance, and so you tend to need to down gear. And then when you're using a water propeller, you want to up gear. Now, it's not always the case. For example, if you wanted to use a larger propeller in, say, a tugboat, by keeping it low gearing, you can haul a big mass. So, you know, when I started this career build series with that little tugboat, I made it so that it was also our rescue boat, and so it was actually geared up a little bit to give us some speed. Then what I went and did was I went back and down geared it so that it would be better at towing. So, for example, when it was up geared to be a rescue boat and to be able to go fast, it could not haul a barge without stalling. And then when I down geared it, now it can hold like 1,000,000 liters of fluid, no problem, and it can haul that without stalling. So that's the power of gearing. And so we're going to come up here, right where I'm pointing is where we're going to go to beach ourselves up by Draymore, and then we're going to drive there. So currently I'm just using, if you look at the trims, I'm just trimming out my WS. Eventually what I'll do is I'll add a sticky throttle option on there where, you know, you'll be able to essentially add to the WS. So currently I'm using WS for, you know, the driving component, and when I'm in the water I want that to be sticky. And so for that to happen, I need to be able to you know, use an add component. So I'll do that at some point, probably do it in the live stream, work on that. So if you're interested, you can watch the live streams. Been doing a lot of building there. Kind of, I think that's a little bit better suited for building. You know, I kind of talk with the community, build a little here, build a little there. I think it's better than trying to do too much building in the career build series here. You know, still will build some stuff, but a lot of it will be, you know, referencing those live streams so you can see it. So we're coming up here on the location. So right there we have a nice area to beach here. We have a good gradual slope that we're going to go up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just hold the Alt key and I'm going to hold W and S. And then I'm going to manually just hold the W key to come forward here. And so I'm in 5th gear. That's going to give me the highest gear ratio for the propeller. And then as I get close to the beach here, I'm going to down gear. I'm going to downshift rather to help me go up this hill. I think I'm actually in too high of a I'm in too high of a, too steep of a section. So I'm just backing up. You can hear my backup alarms on. This is too steep. That's almost sheer. I have to come over here. So I'm just reversing us really quickly. Alright, now we're going forward again. So the wheels always spin and the propeller always spins. So the benefit of this is easy to go in and out of the water. There are actually a lot of amphibious vehicles that will do that, where the propeller just always spins and the wheels always spin. That way it can transition pretty reliably. Alright, so here we are. We're on land. As you can see, came out of the water no problem. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to drive over there and do the rescue. So just looking ahead here. So as you can see, I can steer my spotlights. So 2 of the spotlights are always facing forward, and then 2 of them will you know, work with my mouse look. So as I look, the spotlights will move, which is kind of a cool feature. This is actually, I would say, overly fast of a vehicle, so I do need to slow it down a little bit and probably down gear a little bit more. This will do like 90 miles an hour. So I want to reconfigure it to be a little bit, tiny bit faster in the water. Mostly, I don't really care about the speed as much as I care about how much it's revving, so. Alright, here's the forklift. That person is standing mighty too close. So let's go ahead and we'll set the brake. And we'll go ahead and we'll grab the fire X. So the fire X is in here. I need to drop this hose. Alright, nice. And we'll go ahead and we'll open this door here. And I don't know why they're standing so close. They just want to get hurt, I guess. Alright, we'll finish this fire up. Alright, nice. So there's $3,000, and actually this person didn't get hurt, which is nice. So let's read the mission, make sure that we have everybody. It should just probably be this one person. Yep, extinguish all fires and rescue 1 casualty. So there's an extra $2,000 for the casualty. So I have a handle, and so kind of crouch and get in there. There we go. Nice. This person's going to go in the medical bed. If you don't know what a medical bed does, if you put them in the medical bed, for example, you'll often notice that the characters, their health is not at 100%. And what a medical bed does is will continually heal them. So if you put somebody in there when you get to the hospital, they will be 100% healed. So that's a nice convenience to have in here. For night drive, we're going to go ahead and we'll go red lights. I can also dim these. So that's, I have a tutorial on that, how to do those dimmers. So let's go ahead, downshift it, and we'll go ahead and we will drive over to Key, I believe is the island that the hospital's on, and we'll deliver this person. So it'll be a nice little drive over there. So this vehicle handles the bumps really well. You know, you really have to kind of get screaming and bouncing to really damage it, but it's a lot of fun. It's a pretty fast vehicle. It is still a truck though, so you know, you try to take a turn too fast, you are going to slide because it's just, you know, it has a lot of mass, so it's going to keep pushing through there, through the turn. But it handles off-road really well, so definitely faster to travel via land if we can, which is kind of nice. You know, I want that built into it. I don't want this to be unrealistically fast in the water. You know, like 25 knots would be nice, but presently it will go about 16 knots, so that's probably pretty realistic. You know, I'd say the real amphibs generally will go a lot slower than that. So use the spotlights. There's my turn. Good. Or that's the turn to go, that's the other path as you can head top the mountain. So I was in too high of a gear there, so I need to downshift. Nice. So this is a fun vehicle to use. I think we're gonna have fun with this. And a little bit precariously close to the cliff face there, sliding around. I want to be careful. I really don't want this thing to be going 90 miles an hour. You know, like I said, it's heavy, so it has a lot of momentum. And so, you know, you take a turn too fast going 90, you're going to keep going in the same direction. You know, as somebody who operates some really heavy equipment, you know, there was an interesting YouTube video of a truck crashing, and it was a tractor trailer on the highway, and it actually, it blew a steer tire, and then it went across 4 lanes of traffic and then off a bridge. And somebody in the comments was like, "Oh, why didn't they hit the brakes?" And that's it. I don't mean ignorance as a pejorative. It just means if somebody doesn't have the knowledge. But that betrayed that person's ignorance of what a heavy truck's like. Is you can slam on the brakes, and especially if the rubber's gone and the brakes aren't there because they blew the tire. That truck is going to go in a straight line. It has a lot of mass, and it's not like a car. It's not a tiny little bit of mass. It's a lot of mass there, and it's going to keep moving and moving and moving. So the hospital is up on that island with the lighthouse. We're going to head over there. We are actually screaming. We're going 90 miles an hour. So we're going a good fast speed here. There's a big truck. It's sitting up high. These are all perspective things that will make you think you're not going that fast. We are going 90 miles an hour here. So definitely, this is going to be a cool craft to be able to operate. We can go fast to do things like rescues. We can camp in this, which is going to be fun to be able to, go out. And one thing I'd like to do is, go out in either Sawyer Islands or the arid biome or in the Arctic even, and kind of stay in the world, and go to bed and then do another mission in this and kind of, I don't know, maybe go out for a few episodes with just this vehicle and do a bunch of rescues. I think that'll be fun. So it's reasonably fuel efficient. It's not super duper fuel efficient. I think it's like we've used probably 200 gallons, which is a lot, but like I said, I was headed to the wrong island, so I've actually gone quite a bit, and it revs up very high. I need to kind of tune that in a little bit, but we'll go ahead and we'll steer in here. Again, this is a big vehicle. If we look from outside, as you can see, this is a very large vehicle here, so, and it doesn't have any sort of rear steer help. I wanted this to be conventional, so, we do have a backup alarm. And that just did the restart because I slammed it from reverse into forward. So here we go. We're at the hospital. So let's go ahead and stop. And I'm just going to shut my headlights off so we're not blasting them with light. We'll shut the spots off as well. Put the parking brake on. We'll shut down. All right, and we'll get this person out. So I try not to do too much night stuff. Just it's hard for people to see, especially if they're on mobile, and it's difficult. It's a little bit hard for people to follow along. So, I try to do about 10%. So 1 out of every 10 missions, we'll do this. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I will see you in the next one.